Ever feel the lingering pull of cosmic might, like your Dungeons & Dragons character was destined for the throne of divinity? Today we're tearing open the gates to D&D above level 20, exploring what happens when characters cross the final threshold between mere hero and budding god. This is part 2 in our 2-part video series exploring epic level Dungeons & Dragons play. Check out the first part by clicking up here or via the video link in the description below. Becoming a god. Think about it. It's about bigger numbers, tougher encounters, the path to creation itself. It's also about planar intrigue, full-blown divinity, and rewriting the cosmic rules on a whim. And if you've ever dreamed of wielding this power, the power that only gods whisper about, buckle up, because once you start walking this path, your only question is going to become which DM will let you do it. What are epic levels? Epic levels represent the gateway into the realm of play above level 20, where your heroes transcend the usual bounds of mortal adventurers. Traditionally, D&D characters cap out at level 20, at which point they've mastered the most advanced classes, features, spells, and feats available under the standard rules. Yet, in epic level campaigns, the story continues beyond that cap. It invites players to explore what it really means to become legendary. This can involve juggling entire new mechanics like epic feats that boost abilities beyond normal limits or grant previously unthinkable powers, and revised attack and saving throw progressions that reflect a level of skill or prowess no 20th level hero could match. It also allows you to do things like take a straight character from level 1 to 20 and then multi-class, again, from level 1 to 20, so you essentially could have like 2 straight characters all built into one. Yeah. In older editions like 3.5, these epic advancements were carefully mapped out, allowing characters to gain hit points, skill ranks, and feats in a pattern that recognized the impossibility of endless linear growth. Meanwhile, in 5th edition, this is not quite as fluid. There's no official modules that map it out, but Wizards of the Coast, now's your chance. What makes epic levels genuinely remarkable is how they transform both the in-game universe and the narrative stakes. Suddenly stopping a demon prince threatening a single kingdom can feel almost routine. Your group might instead be facing cosmic horrors that devour entire planes, or clashing with over-deities in a political landscape unlike none other. What breakfast is right for a god? While a 20th level party might be local legends, epic level characters can become literal forces of nature, shaping worlds with every decision. In older editions of D&D like 3.5, the process to becoming a god might involve wading through grand quests to earn or seize a divine spark, perhaps by slaying a demigod and claiming its mantle, or by performing a feat so spectacular that the gods themselves take notice. Such stories echo well-known examples from the game's lore, like Vecna, once a mortal spellcaster, eventually became an immortal lich and then ascended to quasi-deity status through a combination of dark ritual and cunning ambition. On the other end of the spectrum, a pious cleric could gain epic powers through unwavering faith, gaining enough followers and believers to give them true power. In this sense, the road to divinity is a literal and metaphorical journey, one where the characters don't merely solve local problems, but grapple with cosmic or planar issues that echo through entire pantheons. In 5th edition, this framework is a lofty ascension that can be more open-ended or homebrew-driven, which might be both a blessing and a curse, depending on your view of homebrew content. I briefly mentioned it, but at the heart of D&D's concept of divine ascension lies the idea that a deity's power is linked to the belief of mortals. Simply being strong and mastering epic spells or feats doesn't automatically grant a mortal the mantle of godhood. Rather, they must cultivate the reverence, fear, or adoration of worshippers who recognize them as a divine force. And at the low end of the spectrum, a new demigod is of divine rank 1 through 5. They might only have a few hundred or a few thousand worshippers, enjoying immortality or the power to grant limited spells, yet they're still vulnerable to the machinations of higher deities. These demigods typically protect a smaller domain, perhaps a single city or a group of tribes, and they must prove themselves worthy of more substantial cosmic influence. Think Hercules. As they ascend to lesser deity rank, 6 through 10, By amassing tens of thousands of followers, their responsibilities grow. Not only do they hold sway over large portions of reality like multiple cities, entire cultures, or an expanding domain portfolio, but they must also navigate divine politics like the breakfast choices that I hinted at before. They have to form alliances and watch for encroachment by rivals, all while worrying about the risk that their followers abandon them, leaving them to losing their power. And once a being attains intermediary deity status, rank 11 through 15, they command hundreds of thousands or even millions of worshippers. Their divine senses sharpen enough to detect events in their entire domain unfolding across vast distances, and their control extends to grander godly realms. They can shape their plane and forge new astral pathways. At this level, they may grant entire pantheons spells, steward important cosmic functions, sign and complete pacts with warlocks or clerics or paladins, and maintain seasonal cycles, overseeing souls of the dead, for example, and they wield enough power to rival or dethrone lesser deities. The step to greater deity rank, which is rank 16 through 20, often requires multiple millions of adherents, and with that heightened potency comes near absolute dominion over their chosen portfolio, be it war, knowledge, magic, or another fundamental aspect of existence. Greater deities can alter reality on a whim, create or destroy entire demiplanes, and shrug off magic that would annihilate lower divinities. Mechanically, at this point, you would never have to roll. You just always succeed, getting the maximum value on whatever task that you want to complete. Yet this pinnacle of power isn't without cost. Greater deities must carefully manage their worshippers. At this level, they're extremely vulnerable to what happens to their followers at the typical adventure stage, like the planned annihilation of an entire culture just to reduce a divinity's power. Maintaining cosmic balance is important, lest they provoke a crisis that shakes an entire pantheon or invites the wrath of an overdeity. The bigger you are, the harder you fall. Far beyond the reach of even greater deities lurks an overdeity. Mysterious cosmic forces who neither require worship nor grant spells in any conventional sense. Their primary role is to moderate entire pantheons, acting more like omnipotent referees than personal patrons. In the lore, overdeities are exceedingly rare. Only a few are known, like Ao in the Forgotten Realms, who manages and maintains a watchful neutrality over the gods without intervening directly in mortal affairs. Unlike traditional deities who depend on faithful worshippers to bolster their power, an overdeity's authority transcends such concerns entirely. They seldom manifest, and when they do, it's often only to enforce or correct cosmic balance rather than to uphold any one moral agenda or another. Because official rules rarely address overdeities in depth, this is more of a tool for DMs to treat as narrative devices, a final safeguard, if you will, against runaway divine conflict or mysterious presences that ensure even the mightiest gods have limits. Beyond an overdeity, only one being in the Dungeons & Dragons multiverse that I know of truly understands what lies beyond all the paths of godhood. His name is Luigi. Let me know in the comments below what Luigi knows about the multiverse's existence and what truly controls it. Perhaps the most thrilling aspect of epic level play, especially for ambitious character, lies in actually becoming a god. While many classic campaigns end at level 20, a game that stretches into epic tiers can frame the entire storyline around what each PC's ongoing quests can be to seize or inherit godhood. One classic approach is a race against time to claim the essence of a fading deity. And in an alternative scenario, we cast worshippers and believers front and center. Here the characters might be unintentional founders of a new religion. Maybe they liberate a city from a tyrant only for the freed people to start worshiping them as protectors and saviors. A more cosmic storyline might emphasize planar politics, where each player must secure the blessing, or at least the grudging acceptance, of an existing god before they can ascend. And for a grittier take, DMs might introduce a villainous path to divinity. An ambitious warlock or necromancer player could try siphoning the life forces of thousands, willingly or not, to fuel an unholy ritual. Maybe this happens unintentionally in the depths of a dungeon crawl. And over time, their epic level spells and they start growing cults, and they gather so much arcane weight that the plane itself warps in small ways around them. In every version of these epic arcs, remember that ascension itself needn't be the finale. Becoming a god can mark the start of a new phase in your campaign, where divine intrigue begins to unfold. And there you have it, adventurers, the gateway to godhood. A realm where Dungeons and Dragons are merely stepping stones to cosmic dominion, and the prayers of mortal realm become your very fuel of power. Whether you're seeking humble refuge in adoration of small devoted cults, or plan to rival the pantheons themselves, remember that truly epic play isn't just about numbers on a character sheet, it's about weaving mythic stories with epic choices. And if you've made it this far, you've already broken the mold of ordinary adventuring. Now it's time to ascend, take a stand among legends, and write your name into the very fabric of the cosmos by joining my Patreon and making sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Until next time, my friends, keep rolling those dice, and make sure that those quests are truly epic.